Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and I'm also known as TMO5 Candle Co. How are you guys? And happy weekend and happy September weekend. Is September weekend here in the UK. I don't know if it's the same um elsewhere in the UK. I believe it's the same elsewhere in the UK. Hi, Abisoye. Yeah, Abisoye. That's a fun name. Welcome and welcome to this live. I'm just gonna wait till it's exactly 7 o'clock before we dive into today's topic. If there's any questions, any of those who are watching me have, try and put them in the comment section. So while I am sharing any information, I'll try and glance through the comment section to see if there are questions I could answer. And if I'm not able to answer those questions while live, I will say possibly DM me. And like if you drop a comment here or if you drop a question in the comment section and I reply saying send me a DM, that is to say that I know what I won't be answering that question in this live. But if you send me a DM, then I will try my possible best to answer the questions via DM if I have the answer to the question. So I'm just going to wait till it's about exactly 7 on the dot before we go into what I've got to discuss here. So, like I was saying earlier on, it's a September weekend here. So, September weekend here in the UK is like a long public holiday. So, the kids went to school Monday to Thursday last week, and then they had Friday off, and then obviously the weekend, and then Monday is also a public holiday. So, the kids don't go back. The kids and myself we don't go back until Tuesday. So the kids go back to school on Tuesday while I go back to my work on Tuesday as well. So ideally, the Monday will have been a working day for me, but um, I've decided it was given to me as a public holiday, so as a day off. So I'm gonna have to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I started my band 4 job as a nurse. So I won't start as a band 5 until I get my NMC pin. So while I'm waiting for my NMC pin, I just felt rather than sitting at home not doing anything, I could as well be, work as a band 4 and still be earning some sort of income. I guess working as a band 4 while I wait for my pin to arrive, the only thing I'm not able to do as a band 4 is that I work in the theaters. So the only thing I'm not able to do as a band 4 will be that I won't be able to recover patients who have had surgery under general anesthetic. So if a patient has been put to sleep to have their surgery, once they come into recovery, I can't single-handedly look after them. And if at some point, if I have to look after them, I would have to have like a senior staff, maybe like a band 5, supervise me. And I guess I don't know why they did that. Probably maybe because patients like that will need their airways being managed. When I say their airways being managed, some of them might still have a gedel. It's like a wee long. It's very long. It's like the shape of a tongue. So they put it in their mouth to keep their airway working. Should in case if they have to do some sort of intervention, should the case is taking longer for them to come out of the anesthetics. And I think as a band 4 as well, I'm not able to give any drug, any controlled drug. I'm not able to give it. So any oxycodone, any tramadol, any oxyir, any oxyemr, I'm not allowed to give those medication. Reason being that they just want to see that my NMC pin to say yes, we have registered her, and then I will kind of like go up to my band 5. So since I started last Tuesday, I've just been like going to the hospital to the wards to get the patient down to pre-op, prep them, the anesthetists come, the surgeons come, and then I hand over to the theater team, and then the patient goes into the theater. I guess the only patients I've been caring for in recovery are patients who have had surgery using local anesthetics. So patients who have not been put to sleep 100%. So once they come out of surgery, I look after them. So that's basically what I've been doing. So I've got induction all throughout next week, and then induction the week after. So I'm hoping by then my pin will have arrived by then. Thank you, Abisoye. Congratulations on this new phase as a nurse. You have really motivated me to give nursing a try. Honestly, I wouldn't practice nursing anywhere else if I were not in the UK. Though I know that nurses are not being paid as much as they should be, but nursing is a very profitable job. Like if you have the energy, like once you go to uni, you qualify. If you have the energy, I've seen people who mostly do agency nursing, like they go to agency because the agency pays them quite a lot. I've seen people who do that. And I've seen people also who actually took a job as a part-time nurse with the NHS, and then the other hours when they're not working, they are doing agency. For me, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. So I guess I'll just stick with my full-time 37.5 hours right now. And working in the theater is not as stressful as if you're working on the ward. On the ward, you are moving about 12.5 hours a day, but in the theaters, maximum a day you are doing is like 10 hours. And then you are not being laden with looking after 7 patients at once. In the theater, there's loads of staffs there. So you just need to wait for what patient comes in. As soon as they come out of the theater, there are staffs there waiting to recover the patient. So the ward is very, very stressful. Most of my placements were in the ward, and I just knew inside of me that I don't think I want to start my first job as a nurse. I don't think I want to start it in the ward. So I was quite happy that I got that placement in the theater. And as soon as I noticed that there was a vacancy, I applied straight, and I was fortunate to get it. So I mean, yeah, if you, like I said, I mean, I don't know if you've watched why I started anyway. I mean, all of my kids are grown up now. So I mean, my last child is 10 years old, so I felt, I had enough time on my hands to be able to do this. So nursing is a career for life. It's a career for life, no matter where you go. Like this nursing degree in the UK, you can practice in Australia with it, you can practice in Canada with it, you can practice in the US with it, you know unlike other professional courses that you'll have to do. So nursing is a very profitable career. And if you know your way, you way. I mean, how did Wizkid sang that song? Person ento mo way lo I bento more way lo more way. I don't know how to, but if you know your way, or if you know, So that kind of thing. Right. So welcome to those who have joined us, and I really appreciate you guys for coming in here. I know the reason that prompted this video or this live is I think I did a collaboration with that Niger girl. Thank you, Faith and Lifestyle with Pearl. Thank you, my beautiful, lovely sister. Thanks for joining in. So I did a collaboration video with that Niger girl. She's also a Nigerian YouTuber. I think she's in Liverpool. No, she's not in Liverpool. Right. She's been moving. She's moved twice now. So I'm not sure where she's moved to at present, but she's a nurse as well. And I think she's a research nurse at the moment. So hi, Rebel. Thanks for coming. Happy weekend. So I did a collaboration with that Niger girl, and from there I was able to talk about nursing, and then talk about asylum in the UK. And I guess that video brought people into my DM on Instagram, like they were asking about asylum and stuff like that. So before I start, I would like to put a disclaimer out there that what first of all, disclaimer number one, I am not a legal advisor. I do not own any law, or I do not own any law qualification. I do not own any law degree. So whatever I say here, take it with a pinch of salt. Two, whatever I say here, I don't have any connection with the Home Office. I don't have any internal informat in the Home Office. I don't have any direct connection to the Home Office. So I wouldn't be able to give you any inside intel about the Home Office because I don't know and I don't have any. So that's disclaimer number two. Disclaimer number three is that whatever I say here, I'm saying it based on my experience, and you might not know I am an interpreter, like that is I'm a translator. So I translate from English to Yoruba for people who are claiming asylum who can't speak English or who don't understand the Scottish language, or who at some point they said they don't understand English, that English is their first language. So I translate, and most of these translations I do, I have done it mainly at the Home Office with a legal advisor, like a lawyer whom I've known for years. I've interpreted with her for years. So the things I'm going to be sharing here are going to be based on my own experience and the things I've gathered while I'm working as an interpreter. So that's the disclaimer number three. Disclaimer number four, is that if you are already in the asylum system, or if you're already claiming asylum in the UK, I might be able to, maybe it depends on wherever you are. So if you're in Scotland or Glasgow to be precise, I might be able to point you in the direction of solicitors who are quite good, especially the solicitor who helped me when I was making my claim. I might be able to give you a contact number, to go in town, to go seek advice from her. And I believe if you are somewhere else in the UK and you're already claiming asylum, I want to believe that you have a solicitor, and I will advise you greatly that you make sure you are on par, like you are side by side, you are kept updated with your lawyer. So, lastly, like I said, whatever I say here based on asylum or information I give, it's just take it with a pinch of salt. Just take it as a first-hand information, but not entirely, 100% accurate. I just want So at first, I've got this information, this website. This website is very, very detailed, and I'm going to pop it on my screen here. So it's called www dot, I'm going to type it out, .gov.uk, and I'm going to place it on the screen. So that website is, as if there's any information at all about asylum or about where you might be residing in the UK that you want to find out more information. If you go to that website, it's going to give you lots of information. So most of the information that I'm going to be sharing here are going to be from that website, and I might just add a few of my own experiences to whatever I read from this website. So claiming asylum in the UK. So in terms of the overview, that is, when you're claiming asylum, so asylum in the UK is like you claiming refuge. So you're claiming asylum to say that, oh, whatever country, your country of residence or country you originated from, that you are not safe and you've had to escape or you've had to leave that place to this place just because you are scared for your life. You are scared because you think your life is in danger. That's why you have fled to come to the UK or anywhere else. So when claiming asylum, for you to be eligible, you need to be able to show evidence that if you go back to your original country of abode, that your life is in jeopardy. You need to be able to show that you fear persecution for you to be able to claim asylum. So, and claiming asylum or persecution is can be in various variety. So, persecution may be because of your political belief, or because of your gender, or because of your religion, or because of your race, or because of discrimination. There are lots of um things reasons why you can claim asylum in the UK. So asylum is typically opening to everybody regardless of where you're coming from. Is open to everybody. However, one thing about asylum is that the first country you step foot in, either in Europe or in the UK, is where they expect you to make your claim for asylum. So let's say, for instance, for example, you're coming from Nigeria and the first country you land in was Spain. They would expect you to make your claim for asylum in Spain because that is the first country you step foot in. So if you now leave Spain and you now came into the UK and you now claim asylum, they'll ask you why you did not make a claim in Spain. And in some cases that I've seen, someone like that, they've had to send them back to Spain and ask them to make the asylum claim in Spain. So hence why they'll say to you that the first country that you step foot in, either in Europe or in the UK, is where they will expect you to make an asylum claim. So, like I was saying, in terms of eligibility for asylum, it's based on a variety of reasons why you think you can't go back to your country of above. Some people might have been here for years and suddenly they realize that, oh, it's not safe for them to go back to their country that they originally came from. And this reason, like I mentioned, could be either your race, your religion, your nationality, your political opinion, anything else that puts you at risk because of your social, cultural, religious, or political situation in your country. And for example, your gender identity, or sexual orientation. I know there are some countries whereby people who are bi, people who are lesbian, people who are, whose sexual orientation is not straight. Some countries could put them to, put them to the could persecute them because of their gender orientation. So these are some of the reasons why you can claim asylum. So, and in terms of claiming asylum as well, it says that you can also include your partner and children under 18 years as dependents. They might not be here with you, like from someone that like one of the clients that I interpret for. She came here she came here. However, when she was making an asylum claim, she claimed that she has a child. She left back home in Nigeria. So upon getting her, upon being granted refugee status in the UK, she's now in the process of bringing that child into the UK. So that's that. When you're making an asylum claim, you can always place someone. You can also add your dependents, even if they are not in the UK with you when you arrived. So the question I've been asked a lot. One of them is that, oh, I am already in the UK and I want to claim asylum. And some people do that, and it was actually through that means that I went into to make my claim as well. But however, when I make my claim, it was no longer after arriving in the UK at all that I made my claim. So that's one thing. So if you're already in the UK for years, maybe for 5 years or for 4 years, and you want to go and make an asylum claim, it might be a bit difficult because they would ask you, what were you doing in the past 5 years that you did not put an asylum claim forward? That's one thing they will ask you about. And then obviously only if you're claiming that you've only just arrived. But then if you've been in this country for that long, like I said to the person that sent me a DM, that come, if you've been in the country for that long, asylum should have to be your last resort. Last resort, that you don't have any other means of settlement in the UK. And there are various means of settling in the UK. Like some people will marry, interracial relationship. You can use that means to settle in the UK. If you have extended families who are already settled in the UK, you can go through them to settle in the UK. But like I said, claiming asylum has to be because you are scared of being persecuted for your reasons of not being able to go back. So this, which could be race, your political opinion, your sexual orientation. So if none of these things I have mentioned applies to you, and you're going to go and claim asylum, you are on your own. Oh. You are on your own. There's been at least when I came in, um the reason why you're giving for claiming asylum has to be genuine reason, has to be something that even the UK government, even the UK immigration have glaring evidence to say that, oh yeah, that thing is very is happening in where this person came from. Obviously they know that that thing is happening naturally where you came from, but they really want you to show the proof of how you going back to that your country is going to be dangerous to you. So let's say, for example, now let's say, for example, you are from Nigeria, and we do know that we have the issue of Boko Haram and all these people. So if you per adventure originated from the area where Boko Haram is high, obviously the UK government know that Nigeria is battling with Boko Haram and all these people. So if you have any sort of connection with such activities back home with those people, and you have your glaring evidence to say that yes, I have a connection with this group, you might have a connection with them and you might not, but as soon as you have a maybe a connection, maybe you've been involved in something that these people know you, and you felt that if you go back to your country, they will come for you and stuff like that. So it has to be reason for you fearing persecution has to be for those things I've mentioned. So like I said, it has to be your race, and in Nigeria we don't have any issue when it comes to race. I'm using Nigeria for example. So some people might come from another African country, maybe an African country where there's famine and stuff like that, but I'm particularly talking about Nigeria here. So in terms of your race, like in Nigeria, we don't have any race issue in Nigeria. So if you're a Nigerian and you're coming into the UK to make a claim for asylum based on race, the chance of that being successful is very slim. Very slim. That's one thing. If you're coming in from Nigeria to make an asylum claim based on your religion, the chance of that is 50-50, because obviously no, there's been lots of ethnic religion crimes in Nigeria. No, there were times that Muslims were fighting Christians. There was a time that the northerners were like, they were all over the place causing chaos. So yeah, we've had religion issues in Nigeria. But then if you're going to use that to come claim and make an asylum claim in the UK, you need to show a credible evidence to show how that religion thingy is a risk to your life. I hope what I'm saying is straightforward. If at any time you think you don't grasp what I'm saying, that website there is still on the screen. you can, go there at any time to read. Thank you for everyone that has been that are on this live. Don't forget to like this video, share as well, and drop a comment in the comment section. I think someone has dropped me a comment. Hi Bukola, so classy. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like this live. So like I was saying, for you fearing persecution, like I was saying, I've just talked about religion. So I know we have all sort of ethnic religion issues in Nigeria where the northerners, the southerners, the westerners, anytime on social media, if you see anything, people say, oh, is that how the northerners or is that how the Muslims, stuff like that. So if you have fear for your life based on your religion and you're now coming to the UK to make a claim based on the fact that you feel you'll be persecuted because of your religion. So if you come into the UK to make an asylum claim, the Home Office are expecting you to bring an evidence, a proof that your life is in danger based on the religion you practice in Nigeria. So maybe you are an imam, or in fact, whatever it is that is religion based, and you think you can be persecuted based on that religion, all the Home Office seeks or requires is for you to show them proof that you're at risk to be persecuted. Thank you, Bukola, for saying that. Like I said, when I'm saying something, I might be repeating stuff, but I just want people to have a better understanding of what I'm saying. And if anybody is not sure of what I'm saying yet, like I said, the website, I'm going to pop it back on the screen. You can always go through that website. There's a lot of information there. So another thing is that your nationality, like Nigeria now, nobody's nobody can claim like Nigerians. We don't have any issues with our nationality in Nigeria. Like we are all Nigerians, so we might have several tribes. But if you've come into the UK to claim asylum based on your nationality, so let's say for instance you're from maybe Kenya, you're from Liberia, all this country where they have war and stuff like that. So if you come in to make such claim that okay, you are from a country whereby there's war, there's famine, there's all sort of things. If you say you're from one of those countries, is a chance for you to claim asylum. At the end of the day, the Home Office will expect you to prove your identity, to prove how you have left that country and how you fear that if you go back, you'll be persecuted. Everything on asylum is based on a hard fact that the Home Office has or that the Home Office have based on whatever country you've come from and based on whatever eligibility or based on the reason why you've come into the UK to claim asylum. Because everything in this country is with proof. If there's no proof evidence, they'll just throw it to one corner. So when it comes, especially, I'm saying this based on experience, my own personal experience, and which with the work I do as an interpreter, I've seen like I do lots of interpreting work. Like as at last week, I was still interpreting for somebody who just came to claim asylum in the UK, and this person's a Nigerian. So anything based on this eligibility, this persecution that you are scared of, the Home Office knows the persecution that people faces in all of this country. They know, they have the hard facts. So if you have now come to claim asylum for whatever country you've come from, citing any of this persecution, which is race, religion, nationality, your political opinion, anything else, your social, cultural, gender, example, if you're claiming any of this, they are not going to argue with you, but they are going to ask you questions. They're going to be putting you in a situation whereby they expect you to show proof of how these things is actually you're at risk of these things when you go back to your country. So when we're talking about sexual identity or sexual orientation, there was a time they were saying that Bobrisky, that if assuming Bobrisky was to be in a country whereby they don't tolerate people like him or her, and he comes in here, in fact, they won't doubt him because obviously if they see the way he's and they see his profile, such person with such cases his case will be successful. They will grant him asylum. Or if you're a political, let's say for instance, when like Showore, let's say for instance, if you are someone like Showore who is greatly into politics, and when they were trying to arrest him then, and he decided to leave Nigeria to come here, and he goes to claim asylum, and with that, obviously with Showore, he doesn't need any evidence. His contribution to politics is clear. So with that, they will grant him asylum. They will. So so for an ordinary person, you need to be able to provide that hard facts. You need to be able to provide that hard fact for claiming asylum. I heard they usually ask them to go to other parts of the country that had no chaos. Yes, so that was why I was saying earlier on that that would be so normally. So I will go on to that now. So let's say for example, let's say you've already come into the country and you've already applied for your asylum. there's something they called screening interview. So this screening interview, they will invite you, they will ask you your name, they will ask you your date of birth, they will ask you about your family, they will ask you what you were doing back home before you came here, and then they will ask you to give them a brief reason of why you want to claim asylum. Then you tell them, and then they'll ask you that why did you not go to another town? Maybe if you say you were originally living in northern parts, and then because all of the chaos in northern part, and you decide to come straight to the UK, they'll ask you why don't you go to south? They will ask you why not go to west, why not go to Ghana. They will ask you all those questions, but it depends on your response. It depends on your fear, you know. So they asked me that question as well. They asked me, I remember clearly, they asked me as well. So they will ask, why did you not go to another country? Like, if there's fire in the north, why not go to west? Why not go to south? Why not go to the eastern part? Why all the way to United Kingdom? They will ask you that. I know whatever response you give them, so it's going to determine if you're selling. They're not going to tell you no at that instance. So they will still ask you all the questions. So afterwards, then they will give you a call, they will give you a link to getting like a solicitor who's going to take up your case. So they will give you a list of lawyers who do asylum cases or immigration cases, and it's up to you to contact them. And they'll also put you in contact with some charity organizations who deal with immigrations, or who do with immigrants and refugees. They will put you into contact with them. So those people will be the first point. They'll be the first point of contact for you when you arrive. And then they will kind of like be the one to help you in terms of your accommodation, like a temporary accommodation, pending till the Home Office accepts your claim. So once down get settled in accommodation. In fact, it doesn't take for long at all. So let's say you arrived in the UK, or let's say you arrived in Glasgow to claim asylum on a Monday, and you already meet all these support workers and these people who work with immigration of immigrants. The following day or the third day would be when they will arrange an appointment for you to go to the Home Office to get their screening interview. So this screening interview, when you go, they will take your fingerprints, like all 10 fingerprints. They will take your picture. Yeah, I think that's the only one. I don't think they take DNA. No. So they'll take your picture, they will take your 10 fingerprints, they'll ask you all of your personal details, family back home, wherever you came from, what were you doing? Do you have any they will ask you for your travel documents, like what document did you use to travel into the UK? They will ask you for it. If you have it, if you don't have it, well, they won't argue with you. So they'll ask you for it. If you have it with you, they will take it off you, and they will ask if you've got any money, like something of high value. If you have it with you, they'll ask you and stuff like that. Like they'll ask you everything they need to know about somebody, like what kind of life were you living back home, where you came from, do you have family, and who have you had contact with here in the UK. They'll ask you, have you had contact with anybody here in the UK? All of those questions they will ask you. So afterwards, you go back to your temporary accommodation, and then they'll give you a date for you to come. Like they might ask you to come every week, and they call that signing. So they ask you to come in, is that they've given you the temporary leave based on the rules they've given you. You need to abide by the conditions they've given you. So that condition will be that if they ask you to come in every week, you will have to come in. And that's mainly to let them know that you are still in the UK, that you've not run off somewhere else. Then they'll provide you support, like accommodation support, they'll provide you with monetary support, and then they will give like a card, it's like an identity card, very tiny card like this. It has all of your biometrics, it's like all those indefinite leave to remain card that they issue. That's exactly how it is. So it's like a biometric card that will be, hi Godwin, thanks for joining. So they will give you like that card. So anywhere you go, obviously they've taken your passport off you, you don't have any form of ID. So that will start as a form of ID for you. And then any monetary support they give you, if you need to go and get that monetary support, you need to take that ID card with you. So obviously they've given you a temporary leave based on the conditions that if they ask you to come in every week, you will come. If there's any appointment they require you to come, you have to go. And you reside, you will live at the address. The people who work with refugee people, you will live at that address, which means that you will not live anywhere else. You have to be living at that particular address. If they find that you're not living at that address they've provided you with, they find that maybe you're living somewhere else, they might cancel your asylum claim. And in that aspect, they might even start planning your deportation straight, because that's you breaching the condition they've given you to remain in the UK temporarily. So after that screening interview, everything else they will communicate through the lawyer you find. So after that screening interview, you're still going to have like a big interview whereby all of the questions they ask you during your screening interview, they will now break all those questions into small questions. They will start asking you. when I had my own interview, I think that interview took about 2 hours. Then they were asking me all lots of questions because they would want to find out if you are lying. They want to find out if the reason, obviously, the reason why you came to claim asylum is part of the eligibility for claiming asylum, but they actually want to find out if you are actually in fear of your life. They want to know from what you've said if you're actually scared that you are going to be persecuted based on what you've said. So what they're now expecting from you and your lawyer is that your lawyer will use all the immigration laws to help support your case. And as time goes on, your lawyer might say, "Oh, have you got evidence that okay, maybe evidence of whatever you are claiming? Have you got any evidence? Have you got any proof?" Your lawyer will be asking you for that. Some lawyers who are lazy will be the one asking you for proof evidence. But some lawyers who know their job, they will actually carry out the research themselves to actually find out supporting evidences to back up your claim. So lawyers that you have gone to meet, the lawyer will not tell you maybe you are lying or not. That does not concern lawyer. Lawyer's own is to use immigration law to support your claim because your claim falls within the category of what you can use to claim asylum. So, and asylum, like I said, some people they might be in asylum in 6 months. They will be given it. In fact, there's a lady I came across just after the second lockdown in the UK. Within 9 months, within 9 months, this lady, it was in March there that the lawyer was saying to me that she's been granted indefinite leave to remain. So there are some things, well, the story she used, I won't be able to share it here. So that I don't know whoever is watching this video. I know it's social media. This video might go out so many places. So I don't want to be in the story by putting myself out there, like anything to affect me. But if you want to find out anything, feel free to DM me, But no free things. So if you are watching here, you support my channel. So within 9 months, she was granted indefinite leave to remain. And right now, they're in the process of bringing our child that she left in Nigeria. They're in the process of bringing her to the UK. So, and there are some people, the asylum claim will take 4 years. There some 7 years. Even at that 7 years, if they're going to give them settlement, they might only give them maybe 4 years. When I was granted, I was given indefinite leave straight away. Now they don't give indefinite leave again. No matter how long your asylum claim takes, they might actually give you either 3 years or 4 years. But during my time, as a 2000 was that 2010, I was given indefinitely, and people around me were like, how did it happen? How did you do it? I was like, I don't know. Maybe my lawyer was just doing her job. I was given indefinite leave straight away, no questions asked. But it took me 4 years. That process took 4 years, 4 years of not being able to walk. All I was just doing was like, going to school, learning. I had my first degree just after I finished my asylum claim, and I've been going to college there to build up qualifications. I'm just not sitting at home sleeping. Though I was having babies, yeah, there's no crime in that. It's expensive to procreate. I was having babies, but then while I was having babies, I was still studying, going to school, doing all this community work and stuff like that. So, and there are some people as well who do not have that, who were not so lucky. There's someone that was very, 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 very close to me. She came to claim asylum, and the first week that she came to claim asylum, they detained her at the detention center. Yes, there's detention center. I can't remember. Dungavel, Dungavel in Scotland. That's where the immigration detention center for failed asylum seekers. That's where they put them before they now deport them back to their country of abode. A week after she came, they detained her there. She was there for like almost a week or a week and a half with her son. But our lawyer was able to get her out. Like they detained her like up to 3 times. And I think what I noticed with this person was that she was breaching the conditions she was given. Like, yeah, they're not asking you not to go to school. But if that time that you have to go to school falls at the time that you have to go for the appointment there, you will have to ditch that school you are going and go for your appointment. But with her, there was a time I was in the office with her one day, and she was like, "Oh no, that appointment you're giving me, I can't make it. I have to be in class." And I was saying to her that, "Come, these people, if they've not given you the temporary leave to remain, like they've asked you to remain temporarily while they process your case. If they've not given you that, where you are coming from, do you have the opportunities to be doing all of this? Do you even have the chance to even go to school? But you have your own flat, they are supporting you with money. You are looking fine, your son is looking fine. But now has to come once a week, just so that they know that you are still in the UK or they know that you're still in Glasgow and you're arguing with them. In fact, I think it was about maybe a year or a year and a half down into our processing our claim that they deport her back to Nigeria. It was just one, and at some point, she was not living in the flat they gave her. So I think they were They were observing her, they were spying on her. So she has not been sleeping in her flat, but the night she decided to come and sleep in her flat, it was that night around mid morning, around maybe 5 a.m. They burst her door open. They grabbed her. They grabbed her. In fact, it was like a week after they deported her back to Nigeria. So I've heard of cases like that. If you are breaching the conditions they've given you, you definitely have problems with them. So chances of asylum claim being successful is mainly based on the reason why you've claimed asylum, based on what you've said you are scared of. And each cases are being dealt with according to its own merit. If they think that, oh yes, this case is this is that. So I don't know what checklist they look to make claims successful. But like I said, each case, if according to that eligibility that I mentioned, if your claim falls into that eligibility, it's going to be dealt with according to its merits. That's that. So, and someone also emailed me asking that, oh, they've been in the UK for a very long time, and they don't have any means of, of getting to stay in the UK and stuff like that. And I said to this person that, come, if you're already in the asylum system already, you can't go back on whatever reason you've given them to claim asylum. Because if you do that, I trust me, they will deport you. If you've already given them a reason that oh, because there's no job, or because my father chased me out, whatever reason you've given them already, that they're already processing your asylum claim. If because somebody now gave you expo, you now want to go and start changing what you've said to them, I trust me, they will deport you. So if you are already, if you have not, if you are in the UK and you have not yet gone to claim asylum, but you are thinking about it, I would want you to actually think carefully. Think carefully, sought advice from people that are actually telling you to go and claim asylum. Because some they actually have the cocoa, that they have the main thing that they will go. That once they go like this, in fact, there's another person that I know. I still know her till today. 6 months into asylum, they gave her refugee status. They gave her refugee status based on the reason she claimed an asylum. And I was like, I was interpreting for her. I went to interpret for her psychology appointment. I went at physiotherapy, so whatever all these mental people. I went with her for appointment, like countless appointments. I went with her. I was translating, interpreting for her. Me, I was making my money. But 6 months that she came, they gave her refugee status 5 years. That's the shortest time. That's the shortest time after somebody claim asylum and they've granted them. So asylum is possible. But yeah, Bukola, you have to have concrete reasons. So I've seen some people who use cases of what I'm about to mention. I shouldn't be saying it here, but I'm just going to mention one. Some uses cases of um smuggling or sex trafficking. People use that, and I'm not going to mention any more about that. People use cases like that, and cases based on that. Cases based on that was what this one I'm telling you about. 6 months she used that. She got refugee status and other things attached to the story. So if you're interested to know of cases that I've actually interpreted about and you want to hear more, feel free to DM me, but it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. So I'm not gonna share it because as you all know, I hope you guys understand. I know information this video might reach everywhere, and I don't want to be the one to like, oh, she's been this. So, like I said, if you are coming from Nigeria, mainly to come and claim asylum, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. I would rather people coming legally into the UK than coming mainly to go and claim asylum because whatever you are thinking of getting there, you might end up not getting anything. And one advice I'm going to say is this: I'm not going to tell you not to go and claim asylum, and I will not tell you to go and claim asylum. I will leave the decision for you to make. That's why I'm giving you this information. Whatever you are scared of, that they are going to persecute you for, from where you have come from, either race, religion, your political opinion, other things might be your gender, your sexual orientation, your what's the other one again? Your your gender identity. Maybe some people who are lesbians, some countries they don't people like that. You can't come out boldly and say you are a lesbian. So anything that puts you at risk because of your social or your cultural, your religious or your political situation in your country. So for example, your gender, or maybe you did a gender alignment from a man to a woman, or from a woman to a man, people like that. So these are the reasons that Home Office will grant, that they will consider that you can claim asylum based on. And truthfully, if you've come from Nigeria claiming that because of your sexual orientation, we've never heard Nigeria persecute anybody based on their sexual orientation or because of their gender or because of their gender identity. I don't think I've read anywhere where people who fall into gender identity, sexual identity. I don't think I've read anywhere in Nigeria where they've been persecuted. No, I don't think I've read about that. So political opinion, Nigeria, at this rate, we know that Nigeria is messed up when it comes to politics. So political opinion is a genuine one, but then you have to be able to show proof that yes, you have a connection with politics in your country, and because of your opinion, which you have heard, you're at risk that your life that you may be persecuted. That's that. But then, like Bukola said earlier on, that you'll be asked that why did you not go to somewhere else? Yeah, they will ask you why did you not go to Abuja, or why did you not go to Ghana? Why did you not go to all surrounding countries? Why abroad straight? They will ask you that. So whatever reason you give them, and if you have the proof for that, it's going to help your case gain weight. So those are some of the reasons that you can claim asylum. So like asylum is not for the faint-hearted, and I've seen people who have come because obviously they don't have any means of how to survive in the UK anymore. Maybe they've been hiding, maybe they came on a visiting and they've been hiding from using people's details, and they just can't do it anymore. So people like that might want to do it, but then you have to come as the last result, like a 50-50 option, that you're not 100% certain that you'll be get granted, but it's 50-50 option, so that way you are here, they are caring for you, they're supporting you, they're providing you with accommodation. But on the other hand, you need to understand that it's not sure. But like I said, every story you give is being dealt with according to its own merit. And there are some lawyers who knows their job. Like my own lawyer that I used then, she was great. She fought all the way for me. At some point, when I think I've already had all of my babies, then no, I had four of my kids then. Yeah, I only had four kids then, and then they came and they asked me to come for an interview, and they were like, "Oh, why are you, even with all of the trouble, we've been here 3 years and we are still troubling you. We've not answered you yet. Why have you not run away?" That when Nigerians claim asylum, they run away. And my response to that lady, then there were three of them sitting down, and my question was, I know what, I've got four young kids. I don't know anybody else in the UK. I don't know anywhere. Where do you want me to go? Like, if my kid, God forbid, my kid falls sick, I will end up in the hospital, and that way you will find me. So why run? So if you claim asylum, you can't run anywhere. You can't run anywhere, because if police arrest you, once your fingerprint, bam, Home Office will be notified straight away that, and from there, by the time they pop your fingerprints, it shows straight away on the database that you are somebody Home Office is interested in, that Home Office is looking for. Obviously, you are an asylum seeker, and then you've stopped doing your own part of the agreement, that you come when they ask you to come, you will leave at the address if asked you to leave, and stuff like that. So some people, they won't be living at the address, they will just go every week, collect the money they want to collect at the post office, and then they won't sleep in that flat anymore, obviously because they have something else they are doing. But then if you really want your asylum claim to be successful, you have to abide by all the conditions you are given. All the conditions, which means that you have to report. There are some people, they have been asked to come to the Home Office once every week, mainly for the Home Office to know that you are still residing in the UK. Some people, second other condition will be that you live at the address they've given you. I mean, you are in a flat, you're not paying electricity, you're not paying anything. The only thing you are possibly doing is buying food for yourself. They are paying your rent, they are doing everything for you. They expect you to live at that accommodation. If for any reason they find out that you're not living at that address, you are in trouble. Three, you can't work as an asylum seeker. If you end up, maybe you have something that you're using underneath, maybe you have a fake document that you're using to work. If they catch you, that one they can deport you straight. Especially if your case is on a floating thing. If they catch you, straight back to where you're coming from. They might not necessarily deport you straight away, but it depends on the gravity of how long you've been working. It depends on your claim, and it depends on where you have come from, what country you have come from. So let's say maybe you are from like a country about this Syria and stuff like, they might not necessarily send you back straight away, but trust me, if you are from Nigeria and they catch you working, I swear they will send you back the week after. I've seen cases. In fact, I have done enough interpreting to see all these things happening. A maximum a week, they would send that person back. So that's how the asylum claim goes. And like I say, all asylum cases, I mean, if you see a case now, you can't tell if it's going to be successful. But for me, I know cases that if they come, that cases will be successful in asylum. Yes. At some point, they were actually querying if I was a Nigerian. They were like, I look like a Ghana woman. I said, me, I'm not Ghana. Like, maybe you should go and bring Ghana person to come and talk to me. And true, they brought a Ghana interpreter. One word, they brought a Yoruba interpreter. Greeting alone, I was special. That way, they were able to say that, yes, because they were doubting, they thought I'm not Nigerian. So that's that one. So, like I said, I'm just reading the information here that I know. When you go for your screening interview, they will take your picture, your front, your side. They will take your picture. They will take your fingerprints, all 10 fingers. They will take that fingerprint. And then, like I said earlier on, they'll have like a screening mini interview, like check who you are and where you are from. And they would also check their system to see maybe you've been in the UK before. So if in case you come and you're trying to use that name, they'll catch you out. So by the time they take your 10 fingers, they'll be able to figure out if you've been in their databases before. And I think in Nigeria now, I think Nigeria nowadays, I think they take your fingerprint now. I don't know what to do that for, but I think Nigerians now take fingerprints maybe for your passport or something. Bukola is asking, what if the flat is inconvenient and can the person with skills like agency make up in house? Well, Busola, that will be counted as do it in house that nobody knows about. The flat being inconvenient is none of their business. Would you rather be living on the street than living in a flat which is not where it's not convenient for you? It's a flat that you're not paying rent, you're not paying accommodation. It's fully furnished for you. You have bed, you have furniture, you have washing machine, you have cooker. Everything is in there. They won't put you like people that have seen. If you are single, they will put you in a flat with everything in it, but you'll have to be sharing with other people from other. So if you are a single Nigerian lady, you don't have children, bedroom flat. So you have a room in that flat, and your other roommate, one might be from Zimbabwe, one might be from Cotonou. That way, they will mix people from there. So they won't put you in an accommodation that is not of a standard living. No, they won't do that. They won't do that. Even when they were not able to source an accommodation for me. I was put in a 5-star hotel, Hilton Hotel. That was where they put me for 2 weeks. So they won't put you in a substandard accommodation. No. I guess that's why some people in this country, like the white people, they are not happy about that. They think when asylum people come that they treat asylum people better. But then it is the Geneva Convention. It is the Geneva Convention. Regardless of wherever that person is coming from, whatever condition they came in, they still have to be given their human rights. So they're not going to put you in a flat that has no window or that has no electricity. No, like I was saying, when I came, they were not able to source me a fan. They were not able to source an accommodation for me. I was put in a 5-star hotel for 2 weeks. I was eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, all hotel food. And anywhere that I need to go, they were sending taxis to come and pick me because obviously they knew I was new in the city. I don't know anywhere, and I've got kids. Or somebody who is single, if you're single and you don't have any children, they'll probably put you in an hostel whereby you have a bedroom of your own, but you'll have to share kitchen, bathroom, and other places like that. So, in terms of if you're somebody with skills like hairdressing, you can't take up any employment. You can't take up any employment. Only maybe if you meet people on the street, like people of ourselves that you meet them in Sudan, you tell them that I make hair, and you exchange number with them. You can only do it in-house. And I'm not supposed to be saying this to you because it's still counted as working because wherever you make their hair for or people you make makeup for, they are still going to pay you. And in that way, that is you working. That is you working. So if you are doing that, you're only doing it like secretly. Nobody outwit your people, your own people have to know about because if they know about it, they will count it as working. And in that way, the support in terms of the money, because they will give they will give some amount of money every week as a support. The amount they expect like a single person to be able to live on according to the government there's a way they put it that okay, as a single person in the UK, they expect you to live on £70 a week. So they might give you £70 a week. If you have children, they might say, okay, well, somebody that has 4 children, the government expects to live weekly on £250. So every week they will give you £250 up until they decide your asylum claim. And like I said, your asylum claim may take 6 months, it might take 2 years, it might take 4 years. no matter how long it takes, that support will continue up until they decide your case that, okay, oh, we are not granting you asylum, oh, we are sending you home. And when they say that, it doesn't happen quickly like that. They'll have to go through, in fact, they have to go through your case thoroughly to be able to decide that, okay, well, this person, they is not, I mean, there's no fear for them. They are safe. They can go back. So even sending someone back, it's not it's not that easy, because I heard at some point that Nigerian house, once they send documents, once UK immigration send documents to Nigerian house that they want to send these people back, people in Nigerian house, they take forever to reply to them, because obviously they know what's happened, that this person that they are requiring information about, they want to deport the person. So I've heard, I don't know how true it is though, but during my own time, when I've heard that they want to deport people, they will say that Nigerian house, Nigerian immigration or Nigerian house in London, that they are not required, they are refusing to give the UK immigration the details of that person, or they are refusing to grant information to allow office to deport that person. Like so many people that know what they said, I've heard that, when I go to do interpreting, they're like, what, Nigerian house immigration, they are not responding, that. So in some cases, you hear that some people's deportation are delayed. So while some people's deportation are delayed, their lawyer is working continuously to ensure that that person is not being sent back. And like I said, my lawyer, she did a very great job for me. Like, other people that I've seen, the lawyer did a great job for them. One thing again I know is that if you have children, good evening. I just moved into Scotland this week. What's your advice on job? I've got a video on my channel about that. That's not what we are discussing on this channel right now. There's a video on my channel on how to get a job, how to get a commission and stuff. You go onto my channel, there are lots of videos about that. Okay, Toby, and welcome to Scotland. I also have websites where you can look for jobs. There's a video on my channel that discusses how you can apply for a job, where you can apply for a job, types of job. There's a video on that on my channel, and there's a video on how to ask for check for commission as well. So yeah, there's a detailed video about that on my channel. Yeah, so mostly if you're going to apply for a job, you need to wait for your NI to arrive, because most jobs, if you want to apply for, they'll ask for your NI number. So I'll say, while you are waiting for your NI number, be going online and be looking at the kind of jobs available and be sure that it's the kind of job you want to do. There are lots of jobs. If you're not a lazy person, there are lots of jobs you can do in Scotland. There are lots of jobs. And most importantly, maybe healthcare jobs, it makes a lot of money. So yeah, that's that. So like I was saying, if you have children, most especially if you have young children, they tend to be very, very lenient with people with young children, because you can imagine if your child was 2 years old when you came to claim asylum and it took them 5 years before they answer you, that child is about 7 years old already. And by 7 years old, your child is already in school. So it will be very, very difficult for them to want to send somebody with children back, because that child has already integrated into the education system. So for them to now yank that child and say, you and your mother go back to where you're coming from, it's very difficult. And I've seen lawyers who fight that cause, especially for people with children. They might couple with children. I've seen husband and wife with their children came to claim asylum and they're in this country today. So if you've got children and and you are integrating them, like they go to school, they're into sports, they do lots of things. So it's hard at times, and everything in life takes prayers as well. So you know how do you know how I ended up? It was through immigration, all this asylum that got me ended up at MFMO. Yeah. So everything takes prayer as well. Like I was saying earlier on, at some point they were asking me that why have you not run away? You know, and I never had any issue of maybe maybe they detained me or anything like that. No, because I abided by everything I've been told to do. I did not take up any employment. I did not do anything I'm not supposed to do. The flat they gave me was a 3-bedroom flat. That was where I lived up until they gave me my papers. I was never involved. I never had any police case. Even when there was a time somebody broke into my flat, that person, maybe police were chasing the person. That person jumped from the fourth, where was I? No, from the third floor onto the balcony of my own flat and came into my flat. I was terrified. In fact, they had to ask the police to come and stay at my door for a week, because I told them that I was terrified. I was pregnant then. That what if this person had stabbed me? I was terrified. So most people with children, they are quite lenient with them. And also at the same time, everything takes prayers. Everything takes prayer. So if there's anything you are doing, it takes prayer. So just like I said, if you, and also some people are coming into to some people are claiming asylum mainly because they are made up their mind that they want to go back to Nigeria. and they just don't want to go through the case of no that some people want to go back to Nigeria, whereby they're trying to get travel certificate, and from there they go picked up by police or picked up by immigration. Some people solely just like, no, I'm tired of this UK. I want to go back to my country. Let me go through this system so that they can pay my flight on. I've seen people who do that just because they don't want to spend their money to go and start buying tickets, to go and start processing travel documents to go back. So, like I said, asylum is open to everybody. They've not just said only social people can apply. No, it's open to everybody, and each asylum claim is being dealt with by its own merit, according to its own merit, and how evidence based it is, how you're able to prove that you are really you are really fearful for your life and stuff like that. That's mainly what asylum is all about. And even if you're already, and for those who are already claiming asylum right now, I would do my advice to you be just I know make sure you keep you I mean make sure your lawyer is keeping you informed, like is informing you of every stage of what is going on. For me, I always like every few weeks I will email my lawyer saying, "No, what's going on? Have you heard anything?" There might be a time that I might not even hear anything for 9 months, and then one letter, brown envelope. Then I dreaded receiving any letter in a brown envelope because it's only home office that use brown envelope to send you a letter. I dreaded getting a letter. So if any letter like this, you might not hear anything for 9 months, and then brown envelope through your letter box, and then you see the stamp home office. Hey, I won't open it. Instead, I'll just email my lawyer say I have just received a letter. She was like, oh, she already received the letter. That I shouldn't bother her. I should take my time before I read the letter, but she will sort it out. So it was hard, but like I said, everything takes prayers, and whatever you do, if you're already in the asylum system, make sure that your lawyer is keeping you informed. Make sure that your lawyer is carrying you along with everything he or she is doing. Don't just say because you're a lawyer. So, like the lawyer that I'm talking about now, if you have a lawyer, you're not paying for any services rendered to you by the lawyer. So the lawyer are being paid via legal aid. I'm just going to type that here. And I know of some people that at some point they were like, only use a private lawyer. Don't use legal aid lawyer. Oh. Come, if you have money and you are going to go and give a private lawyer your money, giving paying a private lawyer does not mean that your asylum claim will be successful. I almost made a mistake once, but I quickly saw myself. Legal aid lawyer and private lawyers, they are the same. They are practicing the same law. The only thing is that legal aid, the government is funding it. Private lawyer, you are paying out of your own pocket. But then, when you've already told the officer that you don't have money, you don't have a job, how do you expect? How do you want to pay for a private lawyer? So they provide a legal aid lawyer for everybody who are coming to claim asylum. So you're not paying this lawyer through anything. You're not paying them a penny. The only thing the lawyer will ask you for will be that proof of income, and obviously you're not working, so you just need to give them that card that the home office gave you as your ID. That's all you need to show, and that's it. That's all. And then the lawyer will take your case on. So some lawyer might say, oh, once they study your case, they might like, oh, I don't deal in cases like this, but I'll forward it to my colleague. It might be another colleague in another law firm, so they know themselves like that. So you're not paying anything to any lawyer at all. So if you're already, like I'm saying, if you're already in the asylum case, if you're already in the asylum process, just if you are doubting, just keep praying. Things might work better for you. If you're considering asylum and you want to find out a thing or two for me, like I said, I can't open my mouth and be saying everything here. I mean, my I can't talk now because I'm tired. My Instagram is thatmom5. You can send me a DM. If I have the answer, I'll gladly reply you there. So yes, so Bukola, prayer is the key. No, I didn't have to pay my lawyer a kobo. Like I was saying, legal aid, I pop it on the screen. The legal aid, I only paid. I don't want paying the lawyer. I did not throughout that 4 years, I did not pay that lawyer a penny. All I know is if she asks me for an appointment, I will come. If there's anything I'm not sure about, if I call her, she'll give me an appointment and I will go. So I did not have to pay my lawyer anything. And even though somebody tried to convince me to get a private lawyer, and I'm like, where do I want to get the money for private lawyer for? I can't remember what that lawyer's name was. It was in London then. I think it was in 2000 and what time was no 2006 then that I went. She was like, it's a private lawyer that is handling my case. And this person, she cooks from her house. So any party that is happening in Glasgow, she's the one, she cooks in her flat. That's how she was making money. So me, I was like, I don't have any business I'm doing there, so I can't afford to pay private lawyer. She was like, private lawyer is one sorting my case. but then her case still took a long time before they answered her. In fact, it was not long after they answered her that they answered me. I mean, I did not use any private lawyer. It was still a legal aid lawyer. So legal aid lawyer is a lawyer provided by the government, and whatever services they render anybody paying, whatever services they render anybody claiming asylum, they are being paid through that scheme. That's how they pay for lawyer. So no, I don't have to pay the lawyer anything. The only thing that I gave her was when I was given my permit to live in the UK. I just bought a thank you card and a box of chocolates. In fact, it was not until maybe like a year after, because at some point when she finished dealing with my case, she suffered a loss in her family, so she was not working for like a year. Then eventually she just reached out to me that, oh, she's got a client that can I interpret because she knows I speak Yoruba. In fact, she was one who started me on interpreting. She was one who like, oh, when you speak Yoruba really well and your English is good, why are you not interpreting? So any Nigerian case she takes like this, she will email me. Can you speak Benin? I'm like, no, I can't speak Benin. But I will ask her that come, if that person is actually Benin, ask if that person can speak pidgin English. So if the person can speak pidgin English, I will go and interpret in pidgin English. So I interpret in pidgin English and I interpret in Yoruba. So that was how I started doing my interpreting job. So when she came back, when she invited me for that appointment, then that was when I gave her a thank you card and a box of chocolate to say, no, I know it came later, a year after, but she was really appreciative of it. So I went on to interpret steadily for her for 5 years. And I think at some point she became an advocate. So she was not taking lots of asylum cases anymore. So it was our other lesser colleague that were dealing with that. So I rarely take interpreting jobs there anymore. But she was really, really good. So I mean, while you are claiming asylum, you don't anything legal, housing, you don't owe anybody a penny. It's according to the let me go and see if I can find information on this Geneva Convention, because I know they keep saying this Geneva Convention, but then you can't discriminate. Asylum is open to everybody, and they have to provide that human rights. So you're not paying anything. Yeah, let me go and Google. Dr. Google will tell us the Geneva Convention. So it says, what are the four laws of the Geneva Convention? This convention provided for one, the immunity from capture and destruction of all establishments, for the treatment of wounded and sick soldiers and their personnel, the impartial reception and treatment of all counter combatants, the protection of civilians, providing aid to the wounded, blah 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 blah. But I know it's got something to do with Geneva Convention. So yeah, so that's the talk I've got about asylum there. So, like I said, if there's anything you want to ask me, if something you're considering and you want to get detailed information, feel free to DM me. But then, like I told you, any more will, the more will, I'm going to charge you. So, like I said, if there's any question at all, feel free to DM me. My Instagram is thatmom5, or if you want to email me, thatmom5@gmail.com. I might not reply your email. It depends on when you send the email, because, like I said, I'm going to be working throughout this week, apart from tomorrow. So if you send me an email tonight, I might be able to read it and reply you. If not, well, if you're sending me an email tomorrow, I might be able to read it and reply you tomorrow. But after tomorrow, I might be later on, maybe later in the evening. But if there's anything you're unsure about, feel free to DM me or email me. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have been on my channel. I mean, for those of you who have been with me on this live from the beginning, thank you for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to support your girl. Don't forget to share this, because the rate at which people are jackpotting from Nigeria. I was reading something like I heard some people talking on the not that I understood Yoruba. So this one, she's just finished her masters, and I think she got some problems, and they've asked her to leave the UK. So I think she was considering asylum, because I heard her say, aduro, aduro. That's another word that we people use in terms of asylum. We call it aduro, that she's contemplating doing aduro and stuff like that. So me, I heard it. I just pretend as if I did not hear anything. So I don't know whatever it is she may have done that they've asked her to leave the UK. To be honest, I don't know. But definitely both of them are considering staying put and not going back to Nigeria. So the rate that people are jackpotting, in fact, I've had people who have DM me saying that they are going to leave Nigeria to come and claim Aduro here. And I'm like, are you crazy? Why do you want to do that? If you're going to spend all of that money to come here on a visiting and go and do Aduro, why not? don't just take your time and apply to come in the legal way. Maybe go through tier 2, tier 4. There are lots of means of coming into the UK. Why do you want to leave Nigeria and just go straight into Adro? As long that you're not certain that it's going to work for you. So no, when I applied, it was just me. It was just me alone. It was just me alone. That kind of thing. Men won't follow you. Men won't follow you. It was just me. I think it was not until maybe like 3 years into the system that my other half joined me, and it wouldn't have joined. It wouldn't have joined at all if not because he actually something happened to him, which led to him joining as well. So eventually we kind of like marching together, and I think it was a month after. So it was approximately 4 years before they replied me, and it was about 9 months after the experience that they gave him. So it was not in the system for a long time at all. It was me. I think it was me that was in the system for a long. I was in the system for 4 years, and as soon as it was a month after I had my second son. So my second son is 12 years old now. So it was a month after I had my second son that I got a phone call saying, "No, bring your babies." So I've just had my second son. And it was 3 weeks. They were like, "Oh, can you bring a passport for your baby's son?" And then I took that baby, I took that passport photograph there, and then a week later, my lawyer called me to say, "No, you have an appointment. Make sure you dress nice." And I was wondering, why would this lawyer be asking me to dress nice? And I remember clearly it was the 11th of March, 2010. She calls, there's an appointment that has been sent to her office. She doesn't know why they sent it to her office. That once I'm going there, it's at 10 o'clock. That when I go there, she'll ask for so person's name that she's the person I've got an appointment with. And she'll like, when you're going, make sure you are smartly dressed, make sure your hair is tight. And I was like, what's going on? They want to offer me a job, so and I got there that day, and it was one of the officers who once said to me that I'm surprised that you've not run away yet. And she was like, "No, I'm pleased to tell you that you offered indefinite leave to remain." And that day, a lot of information. I start doing this. If you want to start working, you can start doing that. They gave me lots of information. And from there, they set up several appointments for the benefit office and stuff like that to make sure that I'm getting support till I'm able to work. Obviously, I can't work straight away because I've just had a baby then. So there was a lot of support, And the thing about this country is that people are running to Scotland to claim asylum a lot because I remember I was in London in 2016. I went for a wedding. Like, oh, she's an asylum seeker that she's looking for a house. They told her rent. And I was like, nah, why would they be asking you to go and look for a house to rent? In Glasgow, they will be want to provide you with accommodation. They have like a connection with the housing association. They provide you with that. It might not be the best, but it's convenient. It's a house that somebody can live in. So like, no, that they have to go look for somewhere to rent. And I'm like, so if you now go and look for somewhere to rent, who's going to pay for the rent? I don't want to understand. So it's like in London, they don't actually give them an accommodation. You need to go and source an accommodation yourself, and from there they take it on. So like, so lots of people are coming to like I was saying last week here, I still went to interpret for somebody who came to claim asylum. And from the way that person is talking, and that has been the UK for a very long time before they've come to claim asylum. So who am I to judge? I'm not judging anybody. It's just say that if it's something you are contemplating, I won't say come and I won't say don't. You have to read that decision yourself. It's not an easy decision to reach. It's not an easy decision to make, but I believe there must be something that's going to aid you in reaching the decision for yourself. So yeah, that's all my take about claiming asylum in the UK there. So I mean it's been 10 years. I was given 2000, so it's been 12 years I've been granted my indefinite leave to remain. I have never had police case, so I am a good citizen. I have never had police case. I've always gone on to do something for myself. I don't want to keep taking. I want to show that I'm a responsible citizen, And so far, I've been doing great. I've been doing great. So, I'm going to use the opportunity to say thank you to every one of you who have joined me from the beginning of this live. And before you go, don't forget to share this live as well. Some people might be this information out there and they might not have it. So if you are here, feel free to share it to your friends on Facebook, wherever you have large following. Make sure to share. I'm going to post this on my community as well. And like I said, if there's any of you who still have a question for me that maybe you just want to find out, feel free to DM me. If I have the information, I'll be happy to share it with you. If I don't, I might man source it, but hopefully I'll be able to find an answer. So this is where I'm gonna pull it, because I was just gonna be here for like 5 minutes, but an hour already. So thank you. I'm just gonna scroll through to who are here. So I see, thank you, Bukola, for being here. Thank you, Toby. I hope you find the video I was talking about on my channel, and I hope you settling in Scotland will be a fruitful one. You start counting pounds soon. And thank you for Godwin, who actually checked earlier. I don't know if he's still he or she's still, but thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to Rebel. She's always supporting my channel. Like Rebel, I need something from the US. I don't know if you're able to get help with that. I'll try and send you a DM at some point, and I don't mind paying. I'll pay for it. You're not going to pay use your money. You're not going to use your money, so I'll try and DM you. And thank you to Fashion and Lifestyle Pearl so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You've always support my channel. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And thank you to Abisoye if you're watching. Thank you so much. And let me know how you get with your nursing course, and if there's anything that can help you with, maybe questions, exams or anything like that. If there's any question you have for me, feel free to send me a DM. If I can help, I'll be happy to help you with that. And so, thank you to everyone who's still watching me. This is I'm the curtain. It's cold here in Scotland. That's why I'm in my onesie. That's why I'm in my onesie. So, it's really cool right here. So, I'm gonna put the off now, and I hope you guys can catch up on other videos I've got on my channel. And have a lovely September weekend. If you're in the UK, have a lovely September weekend. If you're anywhere else, I hope the week brings a good tidings to you. And hopefully, I will see you all in my next live. And if there's no other question, if anybody has any question for me, let me know before I leave. I'm going to be leaving now. In another 3 minutes, I'm going to be leaving. So I'm just going to wait here for a couple of minutes. If anybody has any question, I'll quickly answer the question. But then I've got another 3 minutes before I sign out. Yeah, let's talk about Asylum more. So, Asylum is not for the faint-hearted, but if you're, just like I say, if you abide by all the things I'm meant to abide by, and you know what, you can go to school free of charge. You're not going to pay a penny. You can learn trade. You can learn other skills. They're not stopping you from doing any of those things. You just have to apply. If you want to go to college, to study anything, you just have to apply, just like everybody else, and they're not going to ask you to go and start paying or anything like that. There are opportunities for you, opportunities that you wouldn't have been able to achieve freely if you were in Nigeria. Your kids will go to school, they'll support you, they'll provide you with all the things you need. Like if your kids are going to school and you need to buy uniform before the school resumes, they will give you money to buy school uniform for your kids. Your kids will eat free school meal. So they're basically making you comfortable while they put your asylum claim. So not everybody around me that I met then were fortunate enough. There was this Zambian lady, she was deported, and she was dating a white Scottish guy, and this Scottish guy is the nicest man I've ever met. At some point when I had issues concerning my husband, it was very helpful. So so this girl, her name was Zara, and they deported her. I don't know how her case went, but she's been in asylum before I came in. They deported her, and there's two other people as well I knew then. They deported them, and some of us were lucky we scaled through. And this people that I'm talking about, they had children as well, but they still deported them. So it's just a matter of just abide, and don't. I think I know why that other lady was deported. She's always like, anytime there's a gathering, protest. But then she's always fighting for African-based things. And she's always there. She will carry the microphone. And she's not Nigerian. I think she's Zimbabwe or Zambian. Anytime there's anything like protest like this, she will be there. Me, I used to attend, but I'm not always carrying the boss girl. No, you see me at the far back where no camera will see me. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go now. It seems there's no question from anybody, and I hope you all have a lovely Sunday weekend, and I shall see you all later. All right, bye. Oh, thank you, Moyo. Thank you so much. I was just about to leave. Thank you so much. Like I said, this video is gonna be on my channel at some point once it, because I'm using StreamYard, so you can watch it back once you have the time. And every after watching, you need any, if there's any question, feel free to DM me on my Instagram. It's thatmom5, or if it's a lengthy one, you can email me thatmom5@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Like, you know what, I wish I could share lots of things on this channel, but then I have to be very careful so that I don't expose myself. I don't put myself in trouble for wanting to help people, because when I came into this country, it was very tough. It was very tough when I came in. Honestly, there's some stories that I really want, some story times I really want to share, but I'm not sure if my husband would want me to share them. But hence why anywhere I see Nigerians, especially even those people that some students who are coming into the UK, I've gone out and wide for them. Something that other people have not done for me. I went through a lot in this country, went through a lot. And at times when I see other people, I don't want people to go through what I've been through, what I went through. So if I've got a out of information, I'm happy to share and point them in the right direction. So yeah, I really appreciate it more. There's nothing than, if I don't have any money to give anybody, whatever little knowledge I have, I'm happy to share it. And that little knowledge, it might not even help you that you are seeking it. You might know somebody whom that knowledge might be useful for. I know what, and when I'm giving all of this information, I'm not doing it because of what I could benefit from people. I'm just doing so that I've got my own children as well, so that anywhere my kids go to, they won't have to ask. I want favor. I want people to be good. I want people to be nice to them. So if I'm not reaping the benefit of me passing information or being good to people, at least I want my children to benefit. I want my children to reap them. So that's the main purpose of doing this. And if you are rich enough, if you are more Dangote, if you are more Tedola, if you go on my channel, there's a love heart that shows dollar sign. Yeah, you can put something in that if you are more if you are more Dangote, or if you are more Tedola. That way I will appreciate it as well. So I'm just gonna go now. I've spent another extra 2 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, and I don't know if I'm gonna upload any video. No, I think I've got a video that is coming live where I talk about how I went for interpreting job. And that's the video I've got. So that video is gonna be live on Thursday. So guys, if you're already in the UK as well and you speak Yoruba or you speak other languages, go and register with all these interpreting agencies, because it's a job that does not stress you at all. So if you speak Edo, if you speak French, if you speak Yoruba very well, whatever city you might be in, if you go onto LinkedIn, there are some interpreting agencies that will take your details and they will send you to jobs within the city that you live in. So start looking into that as well. So it's a job that people are really not talking about. And as a stay-at-home mom, if you're a stay-at-home mom, some they even do just face-to-face interpreting, just Zoom. All these insurance companies, they do face-to-face on Zoom. I mean, they do online on Zoom. So that way you're not rushing out to go to an appointment. You can just sit in your shirt and do interpreting online. I did that quite a lot during the lockdown, a lot, and I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money, but then lockdown was bad. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, and if you've just joined me, you can always watch this video live. And once I finish processing, it's gonna be on my channel. And yeah, I hope to see you all later. Okay. Have a lovely evening and night wherever you are. Bye.